Tales from the Backseat is the debut album from the academic who join us here in San Francisco. Gentlemen.
Hello.
Welcome back to our fine city.
Thank you very much.
Just so everybody has a semblance as to who's who, we have Craig, Matt, Stephen, and Dean. I appreciate your time. I'm a big fan of bands from Ireland. Obviously the big names, U2 and Codaline and all these things, but you guys kind of broke out around the same time that Sing Street, the movie, came out.
Yes.
And I'm a big music head and all that, and just the story of a band coming together just is so interesting to me. And how you guys got together is kind of similar. You start off in school, just friends in school, but was there a catalyst, Craig, for you and Matt to say, hey, there's that girl over there, I need to write some songs?
I think, I don't know if...
we could tell some stories.
Yeah, if there was any attempts to impress girls or anything, I don't think that was the case. We were more so like the kids who
You're turning red, Matt.
Yeah, there was...
There's a Rafina in your
I
life?
just got into it for the girls, really. I mean,
well, Matt was into it earlier, so we don't really know why he picked it up. Just some strange kid from the middle of Ireland learns guitar. It's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, who does that in the middle of Ireland,
right?
really?
Yeah.
He also dressed up as your man from Green Day.
Yeah.
For Halloween. So
yeah, I used to do that as a kid. I would go as Billy Joe Armstrong for Halloween.
From what age?
From the age of 10 until 12, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a heavy phase for me.
How are y'all doing tonight, San Fran? We good? We're a band all the way from Ireland called The Academic. It's great to be back in San Fran. Everybody looking forward to the Kooks, alright?
I love the story about how you guys got together because you did the old-fashioned way. You started playing gigs. You're like, let's just get out there and we make mistakes, so be it. And lo and behold, word gets around, and then a record label says, "Hey, come out here," and then all of a sudden,
there was a long
reps.
time in between all of that, though.
Of course, right? I'm trying to condense it, right? 'Cause we could be here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Yeah, that's what we were like as kids. We weren't the most sporty, so we used to hang around in like some of the classrooms at break, and Matt would have his guitar. And from there in, we all kind of just started learning instruments. We made Stephen play bass because he was a bit younger than us, and we needed a bass player. So that's how it kicked off, and we just gigged, and as you said.
So when you gigged, was it a lot of cover songs? What type of songs? What type of topics would you cover?
We just covered like lots of bands that we liked, old and new at the time. Obviously, we liked the Strokes. We've done some a lot of UK bands, a lot of US bands that we liked. Young the Giant, we even covered bands that we were finding at that age. And then I'm sure we've done some terrible Bruce Springsteen covers at some stage, and a lot of that stuff.
I think we were just trying to get gigs, and to get gigs, say in the pubs in our hometown, you had to play covers, But I mean, there was a little wiggle room to throw in some originals as well. So we were mainly focused on our original songs, but we just had to put a cover set down, and we would just try and sneak original songs in there while we were doing them.
You guys got very fortunate with the early gigs, opening for bands like the Pixies and opening for the Kooks and the Strokes and all these bands. I'm curious, Dean, what was it like opening for the Pixies?
I wasn't the biggest Pixies fan. That'd be like Matt, he was the biggest Pixies fan, but at the same time, it was the biggest show we've ever been offered at the time. It was like going from playing pub gigs to a 5,000 cap arena, and it was just like, how do you even comprehend this? And I remember we were all just like, we got offered it, and we're like, this is going to be huge. We'll just go on and do our thing, and that'll be it. And it was kind of over in a flash. And yeah, we met the guys after, and they were really cool, and Matt was kind of fanboying.
I can imagine, because the way a band is structured, right? Drums and bass are kind of your backbone of a show. Not to put any pressure, but you go out and play a big gig like that, and you got Pixies fans that have never heard of you probably, and they're like, all right, we got to make a good impression on these people, and so that's why I was kind of curious as to what your state of mind was during that particular moment. Did Francis Black say anything to you after that gig or during that moment?
Briefly met him. Just that he was having a wind down at the end of the whole experience, and we kind of seen him there, and we were standing. We just wanted to say thank you, and then I think what was he just said? See you out there.
Yeah, he just said see you out there, which was kind of like
to this day we haven't seen him out there.
Yeah, still have not seen Frank Black out there, Well, I have seen the Pixies live a few times since. I don't know if that counts, but yeah, no, he was just very cool, like the most normal. Because, like Dean said, I'm a massive Pixies fan. So when I got that news, my head was just reeling, you know. And even to meet him, never mind play with him, was just a mind-blowing experience. And to see how normal he was and how down to earth was really nice, you know.
Now this debut album does contain a lot of those old songs, from what I understand. How has playing them live evolved from those times as the Frescoes?
Oh,
Wow, you have done your research.
Yeah, because you know, when you're a youngster, right? You're just, you know, let's get out there. We're gonna rock and roll. And, now you get into a studio. It's a little more meticulous, a little bit more methodical, and those kind of things.
For sure.
Right?
There is a lot of old songs that we've been playing for years, such as like Bear Claws, and even a song called Why Can't We Be Friends is probably like the prime example of it, because it was like a really heavy rock song, like really inspired by like early Arctic Monkeys stuff. And then when we got into a studio, anytime we ever played it back, it just sounded like a different band. It was like too rocky. So yeah, with time and playing it so much, you start to figure out what the song needs to be able to be developed in, and then fit the bracket of the album. So yeah, with time and just experience and growing your music taste and all that stuff helps.
You guys did this album with a pretty well-known producer, Tim from Sugar Cult.
Yeah.
People don't always associate that, I think.
And I think certain people we've told, like our tour manager on tour, Ben, knew Sugar Cult and knew that, which was interesting.
But here in San Francisco, the track Pretty Girl did very well, which is why I know Sugar Cult and why I know Tim. And then if you look in, he's been doing quite a few things, obviously, right? So.
I only found out like halfway through the album. I had known him as the producer of like Walk the Moon and Neon Trees and stuff. I only found out like as we were like a good bit into the recording of the album that he was in a band. So I got to like go back and watch all the old videos of him, and it's like 15 years ago now.
Yeah. We used to play a game when we were kids called Burnout, and Sugar Cult soundtracked it. Like there was and that's because when I looked up Tim's band, I was like, how do I know that song? And it just clicked, and it was just this weird rush of my childhood coming back. But we would like kind of mess with him sometimes. We'd be in the live room in the studio, and we'd start covering their song Memory while he was in the booth, and it made him tear up a little bit.
Yeah. I really enjoy your music. The track Different really just resonates with me, and obviously a lot of the other tracks as well. I can't wait for the set tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
No problem.
Thank you.
It is the Academic, Tales from the Backseat, their debut album. You're watching B-Sides on Air.